Well, if you thought this was going to be any different from normal, you're fooling yourself because it's the same thing over and over again. Notice I'm not raising my voice because I'm zen right now. I'm calm. This is exactly what I expected. I didn't get excited when the Celtics were making their comeback because I knew what was going to happen. I knew it was going to fall short. And yeah, comebacks are typically really exciting. But when the team is constantly putting themselves in a position to have to come back, I'm not focused on the effort that they made to get back in the ball game. I'm focused more on the lack of effort and execution that caused them to have to come back because they're coming back from it's not like little 10-point rallies are coming back. They're coming back from way behind, 20, 15 and up, 25, that sort of stuff. And so you see they have the ability to play good basketball, and that's what makes this season, this team, the most frustrating of all is that they have the ability and they just they can't put it together for a full 48. They either they won't play, they don't listen to the coach, they don't trust each other, they play bad offense, they play the bad defense, and then there'll be little stretches where they put it all together, but it falls short. And so I knew that was going to happen tonight. And I feel bad for the 2,500 people who spent their hard earned money to go to the Garden and see this team tonight, and for them to give them a little bit of hope and say, yeah, man, maybe I spent my money. Well, this is awesome back at the Garden, only to be disappointed because this team will, make no mistake about it, disappoint you time and time again. It is in their DNA. This is the team that has an abusive relationship with their fans, where they're keeping you just on the hook enough to keep coming back for more. Well, if we can just, if we just hit a couple more of our threes, or if we just played a little bit better in another quarter, we would have won that game. If we had just done this, just done that. It's an abusive relationship, and the Celtics fans keep falling for it, hook, line, and sinker, and saying, oh, man, this team is so close. What a spirited effort. When really it wasn't a spirited effort to get to the point where there was a close game in the end. It was a half-assed effort at best for most of the game, and then they had to rally a little bit or for one quarter, and then they try to make it seem like, this is a really gritty team that comes back. They're not. They're a lazy team. They're a team that doesn't trust their teammates or trust their coach or listen to their coach or is well coached or is well constructed. That's what they are. And so anytime you see them doing this and you see them play poorly and have to come from behind, that's not something you should feel good about or get excited about. It's like, oh man, this team, here they come again from behind. You can't count them out. You can always count them out because these comebacks don't amount to anything other than them making it interesting and tricking fans into thinking that they're gutsy. They're not. They don't care. They haven't cared all year long. And these facades of coming back at the end of games are just that, completely farcical facades. It is not what they are. This team is what they are for 3.5 quarters, not what they are for the last 5-6 minutes of the fourth quarter. You are what you are for the most of the game, which is a team that's bad. They're a bad team right now. They've been a bad team all year long. So don't fool yourselves. Don't fall for their trap of convincing you they're anything but that. And like I said, it's like an abusive relationship. I'm not making light of actual abusive relationships. I'm just saying that fans keep coming back and expecting something out of this team that they're not willing or capable of delivering this year. And it comes, like I say, with everything from the Celtics, it comes from the top down. It comes from Danny Ainge saying, nah, you don't want Miles Turner and Doug McDermott. How about this traded player exemption? Ooh, we can get a star player. And them saying, nah, we don't want a star player. How about we get a really good value in Evan Fournier that we rent for 2 months? And then it's just going to be some other bull crap at the end of the season. It comes from the absolute top down, and Brad Stevens, making excuses game after game. I thought we played a little bit better this game, a little bit better last week. This is the same team it's been since the outset of the season. They haven't changed at all. Nothing about them has changed. It's the same makeup in terms of how they play. You don't even have to watch the games, and you can look at the box score and say what happened. If it's a close game, they were behind big and they rallied and fell short. If it's a blowout, it's the other team doing the blowing out, unless you play the Rockets. Because listen, the Celtics play the Rockets on Friday, by the way. Don't be fooled when the Celtics beat the crap out of them. The Rockets suck. So the Celtics winning that game is completely meaningless. But again, like I said, it's like an abusive, tricky relationship where they're trying to make you feel like they're actually doing something positive. So I'm telling you right now, don't fall for it when they win on Friday. Do not fall for it. I see Leonard, Kim, and Brandy in the chat. Hi to both of you. Thank you for watching. I know the World Girls were doing their sushi mukbang tonight, so I appreciate you guys coming over here and checking out the show. And it's the same as always. Like this show, I feel bad because I don't want to be a host who's super repetitive, but what am I supposed to do? Praise the team for doing the same stuff over and over again that's resulting in losses and frustration? I'm just it's unreasonable. I'm not going to do it. So I had Jake Acavetta in the chat too. We got a good crew here, and I want to be happy and positive for you guys watching and be able to offer you different takes. But I honestly can't. Hey Rob, it's just this is the same show over and over again because it's the same team and the same result over and over again, and it's not changing anytime soon because why would it, right? They didn't make any huge moves at the trade deadline to alter the DNA of this team. They kept the same coach. They have the same GM. You don't just flip a switch in the middle of the season when nothing precludes you doing that. There's just that's not how sports works. You don't just suddenly have a team meeting and things turn around. It's not how it ever has worked. It's not how it's going to work this year. But let's go into the box score. Final score, by the way, Mavericks 113, Celtics 108. The first half, by the way, was just pathetic for the Celtics. They gave up 64 points and put up 45 points. So terrible offense, terrible defense. Not surprising. No way to start a game. And that's how the Celtics decided to open it up. So the starters tonight, Rob Williams was out with an undisclosed illness, though we know it wasn't COVID. Jason Tatum, Mo Wagner got the start. Kemba Walker, Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown. Tatum played 38 minutes. He finished 10 to 24 from the floor. A dreadful 1 of 8 from 3, though. 9 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals, and 25 points. The 25 points would look a whole lot better if it wasn't for the 1 of 8 from 3 and the fact that he just, again, goes through these stretches where he doesn't do anything. And it's just like, it's mind-boggling because he can get a shot off anywhere. And he has these possessions, too, where he turns into James Harden, where it's just, and not the good James Harden, where it's just dribble, settle for a step back jumper. It's no good. It's a waste of possession. The Celtics need to be running off of missed baskets every time, and try to not settle for these half court possessions. I know they have good half court players, but the strength of the Celtics is their youth and athleticism, and they don't use it to their advantage, which also speaks to poor coaching. So Tatum did that. Mo Wagner, again, got the start tonight, was not impressive in his 16 minutes, finished 1 of 4 from the floor, 0 of 1 from 3, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 points. He had a play, I mentioned this on Twitter, where he dove for a loose ball underneath their own basket and saved it. And while I appreciate the effort, you learn when you, like, literally the first time you ever play basketball, don't save the ball underneath your own basket because you're just giving the other team numbers and giving them the ball right under your basket. Not a good idea. It's just, that's not something you would expect out of an NBA player. Kemba Walker, 37 minutes, which is a lot for him. 22 points. He wasn't horrible tonight. The shooting, again, not great, though. 7 for 19 from the floor, which isn't terrible for him. 2 of 9 from 3 is not good, though. 5 rebounds, 6 assists. Marcus Smart, 36 minutes, 5 of 12 from the floor, 2 of 7 from 3. Again, everybody pretty much shot poorly from 3 tonight. Through 5 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 steals, 17 points. So pretty good game from Marcus Smart. Jaylen Brown had 37 minutes. He had 24 points. He finished 4 of 11 from 3, so better than the other guys, but still not good. 9 of 17 from the floor, 4 rebounds, 4 steals, and 1 assist. Then the bench didn't give you too much, but it wasn't horrible, as bad as it's been tonight. Evan Fournier still kind of looking rough, but certainly an improvement over his first game. He plays 31 minutes off the bench, finishes 3 of 6 from the floor, 0 of 2 from 3, 6 points for Fournier, an assist, and 3 rebounds. Still really trying to find his role in this team, but certainly hasn't given them anything in the 2 games he's been here. Peyton Pritchard played 16 minutes, scored 8 points, 2 of 4 from the floor, which were all 3-point attempts, and 2 rebounds. Pritchard was one of your best players tonight. I know it seems silly to have a guy who played 16 minutes and scored 8 points, but he still was. He was certainly one of the most efficient players. Luke Cornett, 16 minutes, 2 of 5 from the floor, 0 of 2 from 3, though. He had 4 points. And then Aaron Nesmith and Grant Williams played 4 minutes and 9 minutes, respectively. No points combined for those guys. So very little out of them. I actually think it was a mistake to start Mo Wagner instead of Cornett or Grant Williams, who gives you more. But I kind of expect that out of Brad Stevens at this point to just not make the right decision. He doesn't have a pulse on the team at all. But again, yeah, I see all you guys in the chat. Glenn Caesar, Weston Iro, Rob, Jake, Brandy, Leonard. It's great to see everybody here. I do appreciate it. And honestly, that's the best part of these post games right now is building a community and having people come and listen to them. I want to be happy or more positive for you, but I'm not going to be somebody who sugarcoats it or lies. And right now, the Celtics are in dire straits in terms of their identity. And the only thing I can hope to or cling to as a fan is the offseason is going to result in some massive, massive changes, because this is just a terrible spot to be. So I'm going to just keep sort of patiently waiting until the season is over and see what they have in store, because it needs a full spectrum change. Full spectrum attitude change, personnel change, decision-making change. Big ideas. The central concept of this team needs to be completely altered, and the abusive relationship they have with fans needs to come to an end. So, thank you everybody for, as you just said, Western Iro, grieving in unity about the Celtics. I'll continue to be here. We're going to be here on Friday, recapping the Rockets game, where again the Celtics will win that game. I'm telling you right now. But don't let it fool you. This team is no different just because they beat a bad Rockets team on Friday. Again, I'm speaking into the future because that's what's going to happen. They're not good. They're not going to be good. They're not going to win the first round. They're going to lose in the first round of the playoffs. As I've been saying almost all year long, Brad Stevens will get fired. Unfortunately, Danny Ainge won't. And we'll see what goes on from there. So until then, thanks everybody for checking it out. Appreciate all of you in the chat. Appreciate your likes and thumbs up and subscriptions to the channel and telling people about it. And I will keep being here for you. So thanks again, everybody. And I'll see you on Friday after the Celtics get what should be an easy win against the Rockets. Watch, they're going to win. And some people are going to delude themselves, Celtics media, into thinking that they're good. No, I'll tell you the truth at the next game, as I always do. So thanks, everybody. I will see you later. Talk to you on Friday.